They'll run on first down. It's Gibson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Second and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Slings this deep. He's got him in. Complete. 20. 10. Touchdown. Washington. Terry McLaurin, 76 yards. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, this has been a quick strike offense all season long, finding many different ways to manufacture big plays.
They had a big playoff preview today in the papers, and it was about who would set the tone. Well, they just set the tone right there. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
He was brought down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Escaping the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Troy Apke, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe that returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
See if they can do it here. This one complete to Scott Miller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here.
Buccaneers.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller,
toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. Third. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Strong coverage by Washington. And now 4th down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner.
14.
And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Through an opening, and there he goes. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. And even 70 yards on the pickup. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Washington 14. Buccaneers 3.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They go option right on 2nd and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. And it's 21-3.
Good. Makes this Washington 21. Buccaneers.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10. At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Running on 1st down is Fournette, but he can only manage a yard or so before he's brought down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9 now. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
24 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Side, a completion to his tight end. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw again. Pressure here, and down he goes. Safe back at about the 43-yard line. Montez Sweat gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown here in this first half. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
The kick is
and he knocks it through.
Makes this Washington 28. Buccaneers 3.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's complete to his receiver, Gabriel. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Being chased out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
3 and out.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, a trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Taken about 7 yards deep, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going. I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now throw here, hauled in, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. Out of the the gun now on third down. He can run for it, and the ball is not down. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right.
But the man is Antonio Gandy-Golden.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
That's good.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And this offense is running away with this one. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded in the end zone.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
They'll let one go deep for Howard.
And that is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Well, that was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Levante David in on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Sometimes I need a check. Not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step. You change your name. How about your respect? Give it more than when I get it.
On first down, it's Gibson. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun now, here's an inside Gill. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
About 3 yards there to the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
They'll try and run for him. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. They'll run on first down. Gibson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, it's Gibson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. And Ron Rivera, he's going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again, yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
The crowd of the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season, got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The
Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this fourth quarter. And they're able to swing him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
Ball carrier. He was brought down at the 28-yard line.